What exactly is Godrej and Boyce doing in order to ensure that you're able to tap into this latent demand for energy efficient appliances that is there in the economy, right? But which is seemingly sort of outside of the price point of many consumers. So she mentioned, for instance, Sangeeta, about brushless DC motors and how you can make them cheaper. So is there something that Godrej and Boyce is really thinking of to take this to the next level?
Yeah, thank you, Karthik, and I'd like to congratulate the CEEW team on the fantastic report and the very insightful findings. I think there is a huge demand in India for appliances, and as we the penetration is quite low. But I think financial incentives and other interventions are extremely important for creating any kind of behavioral change amongst consumers. And, even though, ESL has been innovating to work with Dishcoms to replace air conditioners in government offices and places like this, I think schemes like this, if done, in conjunction with manufacturers and bundled with tax incentives on a regional or national level, will really help to drive adoption of energy efficient appliances. And also because, ACESS, for instance, has only got about 4.5% penetration compared to other Asian countries. So we have a long way to go. But the fact is that the sort of demand is rising so rapidly that, the number of ACs projected to rise to 31% by 2030, and, 2/3 of households likely to own ACs. So that's a huge potential as well as a huge burden on the planet. So I think in addition to mandatory labeling and the concerted efforts by government and industry to work together to spread awareness amongst consumers, both urban and rural, to be able to capture energy efficient appliances, I think the important aspect is the whole price equation, the price value equation. And I'd like to share, an experience of 5 years ago where we introduced an appliance called Chotu Cool, which was basically a small format chiller that you can use to cool things to 8 to 10 degrees using a 12-volt battery and thermoelectric energy rather than the traditional compressor technology. But despite our best efforts to make it a success, even though the product addressed a lot of pain points of rural customers, who were aspirational to enter the refrigeration market, the point is, marketers call it the nano effect. But even though products are cheaper and more accessible, ultimately they need to meet a consumer's aspirations regardless of the utility. So I think, Godrej has been, trying to incentivize, whether it's, through low EMI schemes to promote affordability and adoption, and also drive awareness, from trade partners to store advisors to end customers. But at the end of the day, the price becomes a deterrent. So as products rise in energy efficiency, that's directly proportional to the price, and that becomes a big deterrent. So I think it's a consolidated drive at both industry as well as government level to basically drive this behavioral change, because I don't think industry can do it alone.